Hi, I'm Shelly Murray, and I'm going to take you through and show you how to get started using a Forever storage account. You simply go to forever.com, put in your email address and your password, and click log in, and you'll be able to access your entire account. So this is what it looks like when you first log into your Forever storage account. So let's just take a look around. Let's just take a little tour first of all. Let's start at the top. At the very top is a black band and it says your ambassador is. That is me, Shelly Murray. If you click on that, you're going to see some information about me and how you can be in touch with me. As a client, feel free to email me anytime, text me or call me, and I'll answer your questions. I also have a really thorough training website that you could go to right here. And that's gonna give you a lot of instructions, tips, and tricks on using your Forever storage account. I also would invite you to like my Facebook page and join my client Facebook group. As that's growing, you'll be able to ask questions and we'll be able to answer them and give you examples and videos and those kinds of things. So I encourage you to check that out as well. All right, so let's take a look at your account. The first piece I wanna go over is just the first blue band. Has Forever logo on it. That's actually the Forever website part. So if you ever want to refer back to the Forever website, maybe you want to look at storage or conversion to digitize some of your outdated media, learn about video streaming or creating print projects, feel free just to click on that line up there and that will take you right to the Forever website. The deals page is one I definitely want to point out. That's an important one. If you're looking at printing or doing media conversion or whatever you might be doing, you might want to check out the deals page and see if there's any specials going on at that time. Okay, so then to the right-hand side on that same line, we've got a couple of buttons here. So there's a magnifying glass, and what that's going to do is allow you to search for people in Forever to see if you maybe want to be friends with them in Forever, or you could look at their public profile. I'll just give you a quick example. So this is actually a client of mine, and I love to show his account. So Jack Snyder, if I just click on Jack, I can come and see his public profile. He had an incredible story to share, and he wanted to be sure that was marked public for people to be able to search and find him and see his story. So if you haven't seen Jack's story, definitely you want to check that out. Okay, you can search for friends that way as well. So if you know maybe someone in your family that you wanted to be friends with, you just put their name in and then you can add them to friends and family here. Keep in mind, they're going to have to approve you before you're added to friends and family. And we'll get into this a little bit later in training. Okay, question mark is the help desk. If you have questions from support, Forever has an awesome support team. 888 Forever is a way to get in touch with them by phone or support@forever.com by email, or you can go here to the help desk for lots of great articles and answers, videos, and things like that to your questions. The cart is if you are making a purchase and you need to go to your cart to check out. And then this is your notification profile. This little circle right here will eventually have your photo in it once we get your photo uploaded. But right now, since it's a new account, there's no photo in there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Then you've got the three little lines, which opens up this panel that tells you some things. So first of all, at the very top, we can see your name. We can see that this account is a 2 GB Forever storage account. So there is 2 GB for free here that we can use. Now, we can always add storage by clicking add storage and make a purchase of storage to add more. These first items that you see are kind of the behind the scenes account type things, account settings. So we're going to take a look at those, and then we're going to look at the exact pages of the Forever account next. So let's get through these first of all. So account settings. Okay, under account settings, you will see that there is a variety of items. Most of these are self-explanatory things, but the one that I definitely want to point out to you is preservation settings. This is important. This is where you determine what happens to your content after your passing. So come to preservation settings to learn a little bit more about that. I'm not going to go into detail about that here, but you can set up and make the decisions about that now when you own storage. This account I'm demonstrating on is just a free account, so it does not include the preservation settings, but it does give a nice overview of them and a nice video from our founder and CEO, Glenn Meekum. So be sure to check that out. Also, the next section is basic things about your orders and your history and any recurring payments that you have, your payment methods or shipping, and any gift certificates you might have. So that's pretty self-explanatory as well. Coming back to the 3 lines, you can see we've got a few other basic things here that are important but self-explanatory. And then we have refer a friend. I just want to review this with you real quickly. Everyone has a refer a friend link. So when you share this link with a friend to refer them to Forever, they click on the link and set up a free 2 GB account and confirm that in their email. Once they do that, you both will receive a $20 coupon to be used at Forever in the next 60 days. So if you like what you're doing at Forever and like what you're seeing, be sure to invite a friend and use your coupon for something special. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next grouping of pages. This is your account. So as you can see here at the top, the second blue line has the pages of your account. So there's the library, albums, tags, print projects, friends and family, and profile. I'm going to give you a nice description of each one, but I'm going to invite you to go ahead and watch the video that appears on every page with an explanation of every page in less than a minute. They're really good, and I think they would be helpful to you as well. Let's start off in the library. So the library is the place that all of your content is kept, whether it's photos, videos, audio files, or documents. They're all kept in the library. Let me give you an example of uploading to your library. It's very simple. Just press the green upload button, source to your computer. Now, if you had flash drives, USB drives, hard drives, camera cards, anything, is you can plug them into your computer and then upload from there. Just by pressing this green upload button, it will source your computer, and any of your external drives or your thumb drives will come up here on your computer when you're finding them. But I am going to go to a recent album and show you how to bring in some photos. I'm going to bring in a grouping of photos from Thanksgiving just to give you an example. And then I just hit upload, and here they go. All 30 photos are going to come right into my Forever account. When you're uploading to your Forever storage account, you can see a listing of all the different file types that will be available to come into Forever. So be sure to check that right here. Also, your videos must be 4 GB or smaller. So if you have videos that are bigger than 4 GB, contact support and they will help you divide that up so that you can upload them into your Forever storage account. There's also a nice uploading tutorial right here that you can watch if you have questions. And then over here on the right-hand side, before we move on, I'll just show you, you can turn on or off the duplicate upload finder. So when it's on, Forever will not upload duplicates. It will not upload exact duplicates. So if it's not an exact duplicate, it will bring that in. But you can turn that on and off, but it will start being turned on. You can also upgrade for video streaming. So right now, your storage includes the ability to store video, as well as your photos, your documents, and your audio files. But if you want to watch the video in your storage account, you do have to pay for streaming. But if you don't turn on the streaming, you're welcome to just store your videos in your Forever account and download them to watch on your computer at any time. There's also a Facebook sync. Now, keep in mind, Facebook is not a great place to store photos because the very first thing Facebook does when you upload a photo is they reduce the file size to be a facsimile size. It's a tiny, tiny size. So it's really optimal for them because they can share these digital files in a very small format, but it's not optimal to you because it's so small that it's not really of much value except to see on a computer screen. If you have your full resolution photos somewhere else, you want to bring them in from the original source, not from Facebook. But I will say it's kind of fun to do a Facebook backup because it's going to bring in all the photos that you have in your Facebook and all the ones that you have been tagged in. And it will also bring the descriptions in that were written in the original comment of that photo. That will come, that's the metadata that will come right into Forever. So that's kind of fun to do. So I encourage you to check that out. And it doesn't take up much space in your Forever account because the files are so small. You also can download the Forever app. and bring your photos in from your phone that way. That's the easiest way to bring in all of your phone photos. Okay, so we're done uploading. I'm going to press I'm done uploading. And now you can see all of these photos coming into the library. Now look, it's going to sort them by date, and I'm able to look at them by date. I can order here, and I can change that to date taken oldest first or date taken newest first. I can also sort it by upload date, newest first or oldest first. I can also on the right-hand side choose what I want to look at. I can say show me only photos or show me only videos. And when we get into the more advanced techniques of learning about creating albums and adding tags and telling the stories behind your photos, you're going to learn that there's a great organizational tool that says show me everything in my library that has not yet been put into an album or has not yet been tagged. And that's going to be a really nice feature to help you get organized. You could also say, show me my projects. So in Forever, you can make print projects. You can make photo books and cards and gifts and calendars and mugs and so many great fun things. So you can say, show me just my projects. So that's one way to find things. Okay, you also can filter. So I use the filter tool often in my Forever account. I don't necessarily have all of my photos placed in albums in Forever, but I have them all for sure in the library. And so I can easily go back and find things just based upon the date that those photos were taken. So keep in mind, as I mentioned, everything always stays in the library. So whether you have it in an album in your Forever account or in a tag, it doesn't matter. It's always in the library. So if you need to find a photo, you can always come to your library to find it. So that's why I use the filter by tool. So if I want to find a photo from perhaps when my daughter graduated, I can go and look at the year she graduated and the month, and then say it's, May 2017. Then I'm able to go find all the photos that happened that month. And that's a really easy way to find photos and to, do whatever it is that you want to do with them. Okay, this search is a beautiful thing as well. Once we talk a little bit more about telling the stories behind your photos and adding descriptions, you can search by anything. So if, for example, I put the word beach up there, any photos that I have written or tagged or put a file name that has the word beach in it, all of those photos will come up. So it works nicely for a person's name, a location, those kinds of things. So that's just another way to search. You're always going to see how many files you're preserving right here in Forever. Okay, so now I'm going to click on a photo, and I'm going to show you some other tools. This is just a basic training right now, but we will get into a little more in-depth later. Okay, so when I'm clicked onto a photo, I'm in the light box. That's what we call this area here. And you can see across the top, I could order prints if I want to print this photo. I can share. This is a fabulous feature. This is a share link. And if I copy that link, I can paste it anywhere and share it with somebody. So I could send it on a text, put it in an email, whatever I do with that link, and someone clicks on that link, they're going to have access to this photo, and they're going to have the ability to either download the photo, or if they have a Forever account, even if it's just a free account, they'll have the ability to copy it to their library so they can have this photo too. And then you can turn on and off this share link. So if you shared it with somebody and then you only wanted to give it access for a week, you could always come back and turn that off as well. Here's a couple other things at the top. I can download this photo should I want to do anything with it. I could zoom in and out. I could rotate it, and just your basic tools here. Yes, there is slideshow. So if you're looking at a group of photos, you can just have it circulate on your computer. And that's a really neat thing too, if you're trying to show someone some of your pictures. Okay, at the top right-hand side, this is what we call metadata. This is the information that goes into the photo. So when I put any information in here, this is actually going to write into that digital file. So if I download this photo, or if I just keep it in my Forever account, that information will be attached to it permanently online or to be downloaded with it. I can mark it a favorite if I want to. And then I simply just click Edit Info. And I can change the file name if I want to. I can add a description. So I will put, it just as an example, Thanksgiving at grandparents. And then I can edit the date taken. Now, clearly, this was a digital photo that was just taken, so I don't need to edit the date. However, if this is a printed photo that was digitized, perhaps it's a family history photo, then I'm definitely going to want to add the date taken. I'm going to click save. Okay, now I can add tags. So tags are basically descriptors of the photo or ways for you to go back and find the photo later. So you would want to tag your photos by things that will help you find them later. So some tags here would be, for me, I'd say Thanksgiving, because I might want to pull up all my Thanksgiving photos one day. Another one is my daughter, Anna Faith, so I tag her name. Another is Caroline, tag her name, and Christina. Now, keep in mind, I didn't do this in the example, but I always teach when tagging to tag the first name and the last name, because I want you to be thinking about long-term. I want you to be thinking about your future generations looking at these photos. So I wouldn't want just Anna Faith, Caroline, and Christina. I would want their last names too. So I'll show you how to edit that in just a moment. And you can see here, this photo is not living in any albums yet, okay? Now I could go to the next photo and do the same thing, or the next photo and do the same thing. You can see that I can just go through and do the same thing of changing all the metadata on the right-hand side if I wanted to. Okay, but instead, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to back out of here. And all of these photos were taken at Thanksgiving, okay? So I'm going to grab all of them. I'm going to start by just grabbing one, and I'm going to scroll down to the last one. I'm going to hit the Shift key and then click the last one. And now I've selected all of these photos. At the top, you're going to see an action bar. First of all, you're going to see that I've selected 30 photos. You're going to then see that I could add these photos to an album if I want to. I could add a tag to all of these photos. I can share all of these photos, download them, or I could edit info. I could use the bulk organizer, or I could delete all of these photos. All right, so first, let's add these to an album. I just want to show you that. So I click to add it to an album. I don't have any albums in this account, so I'm going to hit New Album. And I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to say 2020 Thanksgiving. And then I get to determine the privacy setting of my album. Do I want this to be private just for me? Do I want it to be friends and family, so anyone who's a friend and family in my account could come in and see this album as well? Or do I want to make it public for anyone to come and see publicly? And that would be searchable on Google. I'm going to make it a friends and family album. And now I can tell a description about this album. So I might say we had a wonderful time with cousins and family in Kentucky. That's where we went for Thanksgiving this year. And if I want to, I could date the album, but I'm not going to. And then keep in mind, there's also this Watch the Albums Help video here, so you can watch that to get a little more information. I'm going to click Add to this new album. And now at the top, if I go to the albums page, you can see I have a new album. It tells me the name of the album, it's for friends and family, and how many photos are in that album. So if I go into that album, you can see the description was added to that, and I can make that description as long as I want. And then I can decide which picture I want to use as the cover. I really like the one that they put on the cover, but I'm going to go ahead and change it to my family, me and my kids, and that will be the album cover. So as you can see here, as we start adding more albums, it's very beautiful to have your favorite photo on the front of every album, because it begins to look very beautiful and happy in the way that you're keeping your storage account. Okay, I'm going to click back on there. And you can see I can always go here in this blue to edit the album if I wanted to change anything. To the left-hand side, I've got 30 files in here. I could download them at any time, all of them. I can also decide how I want to order them. I could order them by date taken, upload date alphabetically, or I can do a custom order. So if I want to do a custom order, I'll hit this order because maybe I just want to tell a story in a certain way. Maybe I want to put the food first. If I just grab the food, I can move that around and so on and so forth. There's more food. And then I might decide that I want to put the next activity was going to Churchill Downs. I might want to put all those pictures together. I can just determine how I want to move everything around. Okay. Now I want to talk to you actually we're in the album. So now I'm going to show you a couple other things that we can do in this album. One is we could add more photos to the album by clicking the green upload button. Two is we could add other photos to this album by clicking add files. That would have me add it from the library. So if I still had photos in the library in my Forever account that I wanted to bring in, I could click add files. The green upload button is if I'm uploading from my computer or from elsewhere. Remember the share button we shared one photo with? Well, we could share the entire album in the same way with someone else. Now, this is an advanced technique that I don't usually get into in this training, but I'm going to just tell you. Here, if you turn this link on, when you share this link with someone, they have the ability to upload their photos to your album. So that's turning on the collaboration of the share link. So maybe you're at Thanksgiving with all the cousins and they took some pictures too and you wanted them. You could just say, hey, could you upload to my link? Text it to them and they could upload right there from their mobile device right into your album in your Forever account. We could add a nested album and move this album, but I'm not going to talk about that now. Those are just some advanced techniques that we'll talk about in the next training. And then you can always delete the album. Now, keep in mind, when you're deleting an album in your Forever account, you are not deleting the photos out of your account. You are just deleting the album. And I'll give you an example of deleting an actual photo. So if I click on a photo and I hit delete the photo, it's going to say, are you sure you want to delete it? And if so, it's going to move it to the delete bin so I could get it back out if I wanted to. That's deleting one single photo. But let me show you deleting the actual album. If I click the album, it says, are you sure you want to delete the album? Yes, and if I delete the album will be deleted, but the photos will still be in the library. They're not going out of the library unless you delete them out of the library. In which case, if you do, they will land in the delete bin. Let me just show you, I'll do that example. So delete, and yes, let's move it to the delete bin. Now let's go to the delete bin, click the three lines on the top right-hand corner, and go down to the delete bin. It's in gray. You'll see my photos there. Your delete bin will automatically be emptied in 60 days, but I could delete a photo sooner just by clicking the photo, and then I could either restore it to the library or delete it permanently. I'll restore it to the library. Okay. So let's go back. I have one more thing to show you. Go back to my albums page. Go into the photo. And I'm going to, again, select all the photos at the same time. Remember, we clicked all of them. And we had the action bar at the top. And I could add it to another album if I wanted to. I'm going to skip move the album until more advanced training. I could add a tag to all of these photos. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add the tag 2020 Thanksgiving. So yes, I do have an album called 2020 Thanksgiving, but I also want to have a tag just to identify this as a 2020 photo and a 2020 Thanksgiving photo. Okay, so I'm going to go back one more time, select all of them, continue looking at the action bar across the top, and I'm going to get to Edit Info. Edit Info and Bulk Organizer help you to apply information to all of the photos at one time. So if I click Edit Info, I could change the file name if I wanted to, and I could add a description. This would apply to all the photos that are highlighted. So I am going to call the file name Thanksgiving. I'm going to add the description, and just say, just having another wonderful Thanksgiving celebration with our family in Kentucky. And then I'll put update. Now keep in mind, I could have added a date to be the same to all those photos, but I wouldn't do that here because of the digital photos. But if these were scanned photos, I might want to add a date and apply that to all of the photos. Okay, so now let's just take a look. I'm going to click on each photo, and on the right-hand side, you can see that the name is Thanksgiving, the description is there, and the tag is there. And this is going to apply to all of the photos that I just did by bulk. So that information applies to all of them. Okay. And one last thing, I want to show you the actual bulk organizing tool. So in the bulk tool, I could add all of these photos to another album, add tags. So those are the two additional things to the edit info. And I could also edit the name and the description just like we did on the edit info. All right, I want to keep this training pretty simple, but I'm going to show you one last thing, and that is our tags page. So I can come in here and edit these tags. So I created these tags while I was looking at the photo, but I could come in here and edit them if I want to. So remember I said how important it is to put first names and last names? I could do that here just by clicking Edit Tag. I can also add tags right here. So I do teach on down the road for some more advanced training, creating a tagging structure. And this is where you would basically enter in important things to you. So one thing that we do is go to Hilton Head. So I definitely have a Hilton Head Island tag. So I could go ahead and start pre-adding some tags. So that pretty much summarizes the first training. Your first goal is to begin uploading and getting things into your library. So I encourage you to do that photo fire drill, to go around your home and look for where all of your digital photos are living. Bring those all together to one place. Again, hard drives, thumb drives, CDs, any place that your photos might live, mobile devices, old computers. And you're just going to go to your library, hit that green upload button, and bring your photos in. One other tip that I want to say is you can create albums first if you want to divide things up in the beginning. And that's typically what I do when I'm working with clients. I'm going to give you that quick example. So I'd come to the albums, I'd create a new album, and I might say blue thumb drive. Maybe there's a blue thumb drive. I'll set it private. I'll create the album. I'll take that blue thumb drive and put it in my computer. I will go to upload, and I'll upload everything from the blue thumb drive into this album. Then I'll go back and I'll create the next album. And then I might call this the large hard drive. Okay, set that as private. And then upload, the green upload button, source to the large hard drive, and upload the entire hard drive here in this album. Okay, so that's one way to kind of divide it and keep it up, so then I recognize where everything came from. And it's a nice way to stay organized like that. Now in another training down the road, I'm going to show you how to nest these albums so that I could just put all my upload in one album, and it would list the blue thumb drive, the large hard drive, and all the different things listed underneath that. But again, that is a more advanced training. So in our more advanced training, you're going to learn how to create beautiful print projects. I'll just show you to give you a little taste. Here are all the different things that you can create. But this is the part that's so fun when you can get in there and tell your family stories through print. And it is a wonderful thing. So we'll talk about that in another training. And we'll also talk about, let me get back to your account here. I get excited about that. We're also going to be talking about friends and family and how you can connect with friends and family and get your family members into your account so you can be seeing their photos as well and sharing that way. And we'll talk about some additional features, tips, and tricks. So now your homework is to go out there and start uploading and get all of your things safe in your Forever Storage account so they're not lost. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, you can find my information at the top of the screen right here.